So I've gotten myself into an emergency situation and I had to spend the night. And you just saw the shelter, the bivy, the emergency blanket, and the protection that I would wear for an overnight. If it were actually raining, I would bring down these sides of my Sil Nylon Poncho Tarp a bit closer to the ground, a bit closer, and they would be spread out a little farther, so it would offer more rain protection out away from my ground tarp, which is again the garbage bags that I always bring with me. On top of the ground tarp is my thermal blanket, and this is the Mylar on top of tarp blanket that I have, the emergency blanket. It's a bit sturdier than the foil that you can purchase. It's a lot hardier. I can also use it as a tarp, so I prefer to carry one of these, and it just rolls up into a nice tight little roll, and I can tuck that away in my backpack with no problem. And I'll get the weight specs for all this equipment that I'm going to show you. Next is my MSR E-Bivy, and this is a Sil Nylon Bibby, and they say that it is water resistant. It is not waterproof, it's simply water resistant. And this would come in handy in a rain situation, and I can explain that. Using the Sil Nylon Poncho Tarp, that would deflect most of the rain, if not all of the rain, in a rain situation. Of course, you would bring this in so that it would be past or inside the drip line of the Sil Nylon Tarp. Around here, when there is a heavy rain, and you can see this prevalent at night, when there's rain, there's also a real fine misting, and this is where this bivy would come in handy. If you were just out in a underneath a Sil Nylon tarp without an additional layer of protection, the sleeping bag that you were in would get soaking wet. So this is just another layer of protection from the wet, and in particular the mist. This particular bivy has a reinforced bottom, so that you have the Sil Nylon on top and the ripstop nylon on the bottom. Again, the bottom is protected from the ground with this tarp and also the garbage bags. There's plenty of protection from the cold ground, the wet ground. Also too, what I did was I scraped up a bunch of leaves from the sides here, pulled them all in, and I am also on a layer of leaves, which kind of helps for insulation and padding as well. My next layer of protection is this sleeping bag liner. So I'm not actually carrying a sleeping bag with me today. I'm just using the clothes that I'm wearing, the extra layers, and this C2 Summit sleeping bag liner, and they say that it's made out of Thermolite. This is their hot shot version. Again, it's just an additional layer for warmth. And again, I will post the specs on the C2 Summit sleeping bag liner. Also, I'm wearing, I should unzip this so you can see, my North Face jacket, and this is made of Primaloft, which is, they rate upwards to being close to down. Primaloft, or Primaloft. I again will post the specs on that too. So also I'm wearing gloves, and a cap as well. So just sitting here for the last half hour or so. Again, we're probably temperatures in the low 40s. It would drop down to about freezing tonight. That would be a test, but that's something that I'm not prepared to do. But you know, that's something that I probably should do just to test this. Again, I wouldn't normally find myself in an overnight emergency situation, but just in case. This is the head end here. This is what I carry, and this is what I would use for, once again, an emergency overnight shelter and protection. And I always carry this in my backpack. The weights and the volume, you can see, would fit, I'll lift this up, in my Gregory Z30 backpack. So that is a 30 cubic liter, I'm sorry, 30 liters, there we go, 30 liter backpack, the Gregory Z30, and I have plenty of room for all this, and I will show you it all packed down as well. So wanted to share that with you. Hope that was useful. Okay, here is all my emergency overnight gear, all ready to be put back in my backpack. To give you a little perspective, I thought I'd show you it up against my Gregory Z30 backpack. And again, this all fits into the 30 liter backpack with plenty of space to spare. So there on the end is my Equinox Sil Nylon Poncho Tarp. That is the sleeping bag liner, the Thermolite Reactor Extreme is what they call it, made by Summit. That is my MSR E-Bivy. This is my jacket, the Primaloft jacket, made by North Face. And once again, my Gregory Z30 backpack. And then the emergency thermal blanket that all the equipment is sitting on. And again, that rolls up into a nice little roll, and I hold it together with Ranger bands. And it's nothing as far as volume in my backpack. So there it is.